Hi there, welcome to our channel. We are obviously brand new to this whole full-time travel thing, as well as video filming, editing, the whole 9 yards. We thought that it might be a good idea if we shared how much it's actually costing us to be out on the road right now. So before we left Canada, we had made a decision to set a budget for ourselves every month of 2,000 Canadian dollars. That equates to 1,580 US dollars. So for the purpose of this video, all numbers going forward will be in US dollars, and at the very end I'll also break it down into euros for you.
So the first category we're going to cover is accommodation. Our accommodations for the first month in Istanbul cost us $499.60. We thought that was quite reasonable. You'll find that if you're booking through Airbnb, with most hosts you get a significant price break at the 28-day mark, so we're making sure to take advantage of that. Our Airbnb was in the area called Kadıköy, which is on the Asian side of Istanbul. The apartment was small and simple, but it had absolutely everything we need, Wi-Fi included, washing machine, so we were quite comfortable there and happy with our spend on accommodation.
Next category we're going to cover is activities. There is a lot to do in Istanbul. We got to see all of the major attractions that you're going to see in Istanbul. Our total cost on those for the month was $29.63. With the amount of things there are to do in Istanbul, we wrote a blog post on a multitude of things you can do, either free or very inexpensively. We'll link that down below for you.
So the next category we're going to cover is all the amazing food that we ate in Istanbul. So this is going to cover both dining out and groceries we bought for eating in the Airbnb. Dining out cost us $419.42. So while we were there, we kind of enjoyed a range of restaurants. Istanbul has a lot of kind of cheap street food type food, and they also have a lot of very excellent mid-range and a little bit higher range restaurants. So we found that overall, dining out was a really great value for the money. And then groceries, we would go to the store to pick up things to make around the Airbnb. Just very simple things, eggs, pasta, etc. It helped us keep our food budget down a little bit. We also had to buy water because you cannot drink the tap water in Istanbul. And the total for groceries was $187.34.
Next category we're going to cover today is transportation. So to start with, I just want to emphasize that we used no taxis, we used no rideshare programs while we were in Istanbul. It was strictly public transportation or specialty bus services to and from airports. The total cost on our transportation for the month was $24.84. I do want to quickly mention that there in Istanbul, for the public transportation, they have what's called Istanbul card. It's a card that you can load up with cash at any of the metro stations in Istanbul, and it's valid on any of the subways, the ferries, the buses, any form of public transportation you can imagine. We cannot recommend the public transportation in Istanbul enough. It's amazing. Next category we're going to cover is our cell phone plans. For obvious reasons, we made the decision when we left Canada that we would buy SIM cards in every location that we ended up in, so we didn't have to pay the crazy roaming charges that we would to any North American carrier. So when we arrived in Istanbul at the airport, we bought 2 SIM cards for cell phone packages for ourselves.
So we did our research ahead of time, and we read that we should not buy our SIM cards at the airport because they like to rip off tourists. That being said, we were traveling during COVID, and Turkey has a contact tracing app called HES. And we were told we needed a HES code in order to board public transportation. Because we intended on taking public transportation from the airport to our Airbnb, we went ahead, bit the bullet, and bought the SIM cards because we needed a Turkish number in order to get the HES code issued to us. So we went there, we spent $75.51 for 10 gigs of data each on the SIM card. We thought that because we were going to be in Turkey for 3 months, we asked them very specifically, was this 10 gigs of data going to be valid for 3 months? Because we thought that was a pretty fair price for 3 months worth of data. They assured us that it would until we left the airport and received a text that data was only valid for 30 days. So We are having to purchase additional data as we go. So my advice to you is that if you do not have to buy a SIM card at the airport, don't do it. The next category is travel visas. Jeff as an American citizen and myself as a Canadian both required visas to get into the country of Turkey. We both got visas that will allow us to be in the country for 90 days. So we prorated that cost to reflect what a monthly cost would be. So for both of us, for 1 month, the cost of the visas were $38.77.
Final category we're going to cover today is miscellaneous expenses. For us, miscellaneous expenses included a few things. We did include alcohol into this category because you may or may not drink alcohol and you may not want it in your category, but for us, we do like to enjoy a beer or a bottle of wine as we're having dinner around the Airbnb at night. Some other things that came up for us was we arrived in Istanbul in the middle of August. It was extremely hot and we didn't think this would be an issue. It turns out it was an issue to even sleep at night. This is not a reflection on the Airbnb at all. We knew going in that there was no AC there. So we did end up purchasing a fan just so we can try and sleep comfortably at night. One other thing, because I'm a great big huge stupid idiot, is I broke the shower head. So I did have to purchase our Airbnb host a new shower head. And our total cost for our miscellaneous expenses for the month was $125.49.
Overall, our budget for the month that we spent in Istanbul was $1,400.59. We're quite happy with that. It came nearly $180 under budget, so we were quite pleased with how that turned out. If you're interested in a per day rate, and this of course is for the both of us, we spent $50.02 per day while we were in Istanbul.
So you may be wondering right now why we haven't included the cost of flights in this whole cost of living video that we're doing right now. And the main reason is that because we are heavily invested in multiple airline and hotel partners' miles and points programs. We've done most of this through credit card sign-up bonuses. To give you an example here, we flew business class from Toronto to Istanbul, and the entire way we paid out of pocket 150 Canadian dollars in cash. Everything else was booked through points, and these were flights that were valued at a cash fare of more than $10,000. If you'd like to learn how we did this, we've written multiple articles on our website about this, explaining our journey into this and some of the better credit cards that are available right now. Or you can leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to reply to you. This will focus strictly on the US and Canadian credit card markets, but that is why we did not include anything to do with flights in this video. Moving forward, we hope to be able to share more of these cost of living videos with you.
As you can see, our cost of living in Istanbul for the month was quite low, and it's actually much, much lower than what our usual monthly costs of living were at home. So if you've spent any time in Istanbul, leave a comment down below and let us know if your cost of living was close to ours or if it was way off.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and see what happens next.